Anna and her imagination. In a far, far away kingdom once lived a little princess named Anna. Although she was a princess, she was just like any other ordinary little girl. She loved reading books, painting pictures, and spending time with her pet dog, and, most of all, she loved playing with her friends and toys. When the sun went down, and the moon came out, Anna knew that it was time to go to sleep, but she just couldn't seem to close her eyes, because she was frightened of the dark. She was afraid to close her eyes because she thought that monsters might start crawling from underneath her bed. So every night Anna would cry, "I don't want to go to sleep." So the queen would say to Anna, "There's nothing to be afraid of, and it's only your imagination." Anna wished she was as brave as her mother and all the other grown-ups in the kingdom. In this far, far away kingdom there also lived a witch, who knew how to make magic potions and cast magic spells on people, and all the villagers in the kingdom didn't like her. So one day the king decided to banish her away from the kingdom. The witch had no choice but to go live in the deep dark forest that surrounded this kingdom. People in the kingdom were so happy, and they no longer had to whisper to each other when talking about the witch and her nasty spells and potions that could do just about anything. Little Anna also happened to overhear one of these conversations about the nasty witch who was banished. Anna thought to herself that if only she was able to do just about anything with magic, she would want to be the most courageous person in the world and not be afraid of the dark anymore. And then she got a great idea. "Why don't I go meet the witch and ask her to make me a potion instead?" she thought to herself. Off she went wandering into the deep dark woods in search of the witch who could help her become brave. But the woods was no place for a little girl. It was dark and full of vicious animals. Poor Anna was so frightened by dark and the unfamiliar noises she wanted to go back home. But soon she realized that she was lost and didn't know which way to go. Meanwhile, the king and queen was getting ready for supper in the palace, and they noticed that little Anna was missing, so they sent for the guards to search for Anna, and they looked for her in every nook and corner. When they couldn't find Anna anywhere, they thought perhaps she might have wandered into the forest. Finally they found her down by a pond in the forest. Anna's parents were so happy to see her. They said, "Anna, we were so frightened. Don't ever go wandering into the woods again." "And what were you doing out there all by yourself?" Anna was surprised by her parents' comments. "So you were frightened too?" she asked. "Of course we were," said the king and queen. "I didn't know that grown-ups can get frightened too," said little Anna, and then explained to her parents why she decided to run off to the woods. "I only wanted to be as brave as you," she said. The queen smiled at little Anna and said to her, "Anna, everyone's afraid of something, but that doesn't mean they are not brave. Even though you were afraid of the dark, you still went into the dark woods, and I think that was very brave of you." Anna nodded her proud little head. That night when Anna went to sleep, she was too exhausted by her adventure to imagine monsters under her bed. So she fell asleep and dreamed of unicorns and fairies instead. And when she woke up the next day, she wasn't afraid anymore, because she realized that it was all in her imagination after all. The end. Thank you for listening to the stories at ZynKids.com.